Okay, got it. Got it.
Are we okay?
Yes. All right.
Oh,
All right.
so
So how's your day?
today it's pleasant. The sun isn't as hot as it has been, but it's more pleasant.
Okay.
So okay, good.
All right. So Mr. Edward, thanks for joining my class again. And this time I'm having my student named Aslam. Aslam has ever talked to you for several times, if I'm not mistaken. And I would like to let him have conversations and discussion with you. He will let you know the topic that he will bring up today, that he will discuss today. Okay?
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Aslam.
Aslam, time is yours. Please do. Oh,
Miss.
okay. All right. You're there. Okay. Take your time.
Okay, Miss. Okay, hello, Mr. Edward.
Hello, Aslam. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Mr. And how
Good.
are you, Mister? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Business is quiet, so good.
Hmm. Okay, so Mr. Edward, today I was talking before with Miss Lindia. We are talking about global. Oh wait, we are talking about global challenges. So, what is the global challenges in your country, Mr. Edward?
Global challenges. Well, I think the ideal challenge is for us to get employment right. I think it's always a challenge, full employment, and keep the cost of living down. Because we have just had a boom in the cost of living rising, and a lot to do with the Ukraine war and the COVID, a combination of the two. So I don't think it helped us coming out of Europe as well. We had, but time will tell because lots have happened since we come out of Europe.
Yeah.
So we're in a bit of see how it see how it goes.
So, is it the Ukraine war really affect in the UK, Mr. Edward?
It has made a difference because it put gas up, price of
Oh,
gas, and in this country, most people use gas,
mhm.
and it went up substantial, something like 50%
Oh,
in
that's quite a
the
lot.
yeah, really high, and also the Ukraine supplied us with lots of vegetation, vegetables, and fruit, that type of stuff, and because the land has been bombed and exploded, they're not exporting, which they were very good, and consequently we're having to pay more to get the same foodstuffs in. So it's done quite substantial damage to the UK. Yes, I think wars are not just a matter of shooting people. There's an economic war which is bad. I think. I don't think. I don't think we're coming good out of it, to be honest, and parts of Germany and Europe as well. Uh, not a good thing.
Yeah. So yeah, let's let's hope that the conflict between the Ukraine and the Russian will be over soon, so that things will be back to normal again.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Edward, I want to ask your opinion about, so why do so many people committed crime? And do you have an opinion about how to prevent it?
Yes, I do actually. I think people commit crime because they get away with it. The penalty doesn't prevent them from continuing to do it. Hang on, there's a customer here. Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. So,
Take care of the customer first, Mr. Edward. No
Yes,
problem.
Mr. Edward,
okay.
you can wait.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, what was your job again? What did you do? I forgot.
I'm still a student, Mr. Edward. I'm
You're still a
in,
student.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what age? I forgot your age. What, you about 21, 2?
No, I'm 14, Mr. Edward.
Sorry, you're 40.
Yes, I'm 14.
14. 14.
14, yes.
1 4. I see. Okay. That's it. I have a daughter who was just, she's 17 and she's studying now for the university entrance. She's doing the exams for to choose a university, provided she gets the right marks. And she's searching at different universities. So that's her position at the moment. So next year, she hopes to go to university, subject to her passing exams. You see, what the problem we've had here with the COVID. I don't know if did you get much COVID where you are there.
Now it's less cases here, but in 2021, it's the worst, I think, Mister.
But what it done, it caused a lot of disruption as well in the economy. That because people were working from home and advised not to go to work if they felt they had it. So there's been some hold-ups in the education system. Like to yourself, could have been disrupted from lessons, and you can't really catch up if you didn't get the education. If you didn't do the lessons because of it, it's very difficult to catch it up on a full-time education. So my daughter's just had some examinations, and she hadn't completed the course. So they were asking the questions on things she hadn't done the studies for. Yeah. So it didn't help. But I think that's just one of those problems that we have to live with, get over, get on with.
Yeah.
And what we're having in the UK, we're having a lot of strikes. We've got the railways on strike. We've got the doctors on strike, the nurses on strike. Uh, it's getting a little bit easier at the moment, but nevertheless, a lot of the strikes are not settled. So you can't be 100% certain if you go to catch a train. If you go the wrong day, it'll be postponed. So, it's difficult. And it's even getting involved in the aircraft industry to a degree. The tourism, the flying, there's a lot of holdups. But COVID did a lot of damage to that as well. So we've gone through a bit of a rough COVID, the Ukraine war, and one or two other things. We've gone through a bit of a bad patch. And the economy, our cost of living rising. So there's a lot to get sorted. With a bit of luck, we hope to get there, like one step at a time. But that's some of the problems that the UK is facing.
Okay.
Does it involve you much there?
Sorry, Mr. Edward.
Are your country okay? I think like to
Oh,
China's doing okay, and India's doing okay, and maybe is doing all right. I don't know.
yeah. In Indonesia, economically, I don't really follow with the news, but I hope that. But I saw the government's Instagram account, and I think the government is doing a better job than when it's in COVID. And yeah, in COVID, it is really damage personally to my family also, because at the time we have to learn from our houses, and at the time I don't have my laptop, so my parents should really save up money to buy me a laptop so I can follow up with the studies. And thankfully, the pandemic is over, so and we can get back to school again.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask again, Mr. Edward. So how does the growth in population affect the environment?
Uh, I think it has a plus and a negative. You see, if you get a growth in the population, a natural growth of British citizens giving birth and so on. But at the moment, there's this immigration problem where people are coming over on boats, and our economy is such a way, if somebody comes here, they can claim citizenship and all sorts of things. And we're supporting them in the meantime. And there's quite a large number of people come over claiming this citizenship. But it's too vast. We haven't got the accommodation for them. It's overwhelming the schooling and the hospitals and doctors. Everything's, and we're paying for it. The citizens of the UK pay for all this through the taxation. So when you get all these people come over, we've got a good standard of living, but then if somebody comes over and joins us without permission, it's quite a strain on the economy, as you can imagine. Yeah, and the government run it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the problem. So, you okay? Yeah, fine. Okay. Most of the stuff's in my windows, to be honest. Whether you'd like it, then have a look. You're okay. So, what did you think of my answer?
I think, yeah, if the country is still, I think still maybe still developing, but the growth is growing too quickly, I don't think that the country will be able to keep up. So I think the development of the country and also the growth of population of the citizenship, I think they have to be balanced. So maybe if there's someone maybe need a doctor, the doctor is available. But if the maybe like the popular wait, but if the population is way more than the that there is the facilities in the maybe in the UK, I don't think that every person could have the same like facility that the other people is having. So I think the growth of population and the development of the country is have to be balanced, right?
Yeah, well, you're right. You're right. But you know what's not helped here a great deal? The internet. There's a downside on the internet. The internet's brilliant. You know, the fact you can do it on your phone. I've got internet on my phone. You can do everything, but there's a downside, and what it means is people are buying online, and what's happening in some areas, people are doing all the shopping online, and the shops in the towns are closing. They're not doing the business. Everything now today works on delivery. Order online and it's delivered,
Yes.
delivered to your house. But this has caused an enormous amount of damage. Lots of so-called shops that were your traditional shops have closed because they were big. They developed into big stores, but they're not doing the volume of work due to the internet. You know, there's winners and there's losers in this. The people on the internet are successful, some of them, and then the people on the high street, some of them are losing. But the main winners on the high street, the main winners, are the food shops. They're successful. People, I think, prefer to go to a big food shop like a Tesco and Asda, as we call them. And they also sell electrical goods, some tools, gardening stuff. So they buy that type of stuff. And where we had big electrical stores, lots of them have closed. And so in my town at the moment, this town, I would say 50% of the shops have gone. They've actually gone. And my business is, if I show you my road now, you'll see it's deserted.
Oh, deserted.
There's no people.
Oh,
And I'm in
really?
a shopping. Yeah, I'll show you. Look.
Oh,
Now, if you go to some place, sometimes, I mean, you're not all like that. If you go to London, it's booming,
yeah.
and other cities, but these places were at one time fairly busy, crowded, but it's gone. And it's all over, the smaller areas. That's what's developed. So business in some ways is gone. Yeah, if somebody wants to buy me now, if I have customers coming here, in one hand they have a phone and they're looking in my store and then they look on the phone to an online to see if they can get it much cheaper.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that's how it's going. And of course, it's it's doing the damage. And also online, we've got banks are closing here. The traditional banks, they're going to online banks now. You haven't got the shop at the top of the road where you could go and see somebody. And that doesn't help. I've had to travel about 1 hour drive to go to a bank to try to sort out a problem with the bank account I have. And I've still not
Before.
managed. Well, I have a bank which I didn't use, which had savings in, and I wanted to get some of the money out. It was taken over, it was closed, moved on, and another group took it over, and eventually the bank I had, instead of being a local bank, was about 20 miles away.
Oh, that's
And
really
it's all,
far.
everything's done online. So our life is running online. If I want a doctor, I'm forced online, medication online, that's how it is. And lots of people don't understand, and you hit lots of snags online. There's no people there to talk to. Everything's, you have to go on various paths. Same with the phone. Also, one of the big things we're having here, I don't know if you're probably getting it there because I think it's a world thing, scamming. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mr.
Scamming.
Scam.
Well, that has grown enormous. And lots of people who are not savvy are falling for these con women, whatever, and they're losing money that way. So it's not all good, internet. I think we've gone past what the internet is. We can be said is a good thing. Yeah, I think we've gone past. We're getting the negative feed, the negatives now out of the internet.
Yeah.
Well, we'll finish up. I don't know. Time will tell. It's just evolution. That's how things are. It's like the motor car here. The motor car, we're going off petrol and diesel. We're going electric. And I was just listening to a program on the radio, and they've cut the speed limit down to 20 mile an hour from 30. And I don't know, we've got high density of vehicles on the road now. Everybody has a car. Families used to have one car, possibly. And in lots of cases, when I was a younger man, they didn't have any cars. It was buses. Now each family has maybe 2 or 3 cars. And consequently, everything's overwhelming to what it used to be.
Yeah.
We're also talking here about the planet, saving the planet, not burning oil, keeping the carbon down, all those sorts of things. And when I was a young man, we all burnt coal. Coal was the main energy supplier. So that's what's happened.
Okay, Mr. Edward. Okay, so I think it's enough from me, Mr. Edward. Thank you very much for answering my question.
There
I
you are.
really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Mr. Edward.
Mr. Edward, I'd like to have your comment for Aslam. What do you think of his
What do I think of his
English when he spoke?
His English is good. I think his English is good. Unfortunately, I did probably more of the chatting, but then hopefully, by me talking to him, he's following me, and he seems to be following what I'm saying. So good, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edward. Hearing that from a native speaker makes me feel more spirited to learn it more. Thank you very much, Mr. Edward.
Yeah, have a good day.
Okay.
You too, Mr. Edward.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, Mr. Edward.
Okay.
We'll see you again next time, inshallah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Mr. Edward.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Set me off.
Okay. Oke, Aslam, sekarang kita bicara bahasa Indonesia ya, pakai bahasa Indonesia. Gimana menurut kamu selama perjalanan kamu belajar bahasa Inggris sampai sekarang? Apakah ada peningkatan atau bagaimana? Kalaupun ada, kalau nggak ada, sampaikan apa adanya. You can speak English if you want to, but you can also speak Indonesian.
Kayaknya untuk peningkatannya mungkin saya udah lebih pede buat ngomong bahasa Inggris, Miss. Tapi mungkin ya itu kadang masih keliru buat mungkin kadang pakai past tense kapan atau nggak kapan pakai present tense. Mungkin kurangnya masih di situ. Tapi saya sekarang udah lebih pede lah kalau mau ngomong bahasa Inggris, soalnya udah sering latihan juga dengan ikut les ini setiap minggu. Sama yang buat yang sesi ngobrol-ngobrol sama Mr. Edward, saya ngerasa udah mulai berani ngasih kayak feedback gitu, Miss. Yang sebelum-sebelumnya kan saya cuma ngomong iya aja. Tapi tadi saya mungkin udah ngomong ya sekali 2 kali lah ngomong panjangnya juga. Ya, kayaknya itu aja, Miss.
Alhamdulillah, walillahilham. Semuanya dari Allah, alhamdulillah. I'm proud of you. I feel today, saya tuh merasa hari ini tuh benar-benar beda dari terakhir kali kamu bicara sama Mr. Edward dan compare to awal-awal kamu belajar waktu kita kelas kelompok dulu ya. Benar-benar jauh banget beda. Alhamdulillah. Oke, kalau kayak gini kan apa ya, kamu sendiri yang ngomong bahwa kamu merasakan mendapatkan progres. Insya Allah semoga bisa lebih baik ya. Untuk structure mungkin nanti bisa dipelajari pelan-pelan, nanti pakai tips yang pernah saya kasih waktu itu ya. Jadi kamu kan sudah punya buku yang saya share itu ya.
Iya.
Nanti mungkin 5 menit disempatkan dibaca, kemudian bikin kalimat dengan mengganti subjek, kemudian ganti kata kerja, setelah itu ganti objek atau ganti komplemennya. Jadi dalam satu kalimat itu kan ada subjek, ada verb, kemudian ada objek biasanya. Setelah objek biasanya diikuti adverb. Oke, nah posisi objek sendiri ada kalimat itu yang posisinya dia sebagai subjek, verb, kemudian complement, pelengkap ya. Jadi pelengkap di sini itu posisinya sebenarnya sama dengan objek. Oke. Nah, nanti ada subjek, subjek pendek, subjek panjang, itu pun juga kamu insya Allah sudah tahu, cuma kadang masih bingung di past tense sama present
Ya,
tense.
itu Miss ya.
Nah, untuk tenses yang mungkin lebih sering dipakai itu kan kayak present perfect continuous tense, ngomong sudah sedang, itu mungkin lebih bisa dipakai. Kemudian future tense-nya mungkin bisa lebih divariatif lagi, present, future, continuous tense kayak will, be, kemudian diikuti verb ing. Nanti, jadi tenses-tenses yang penting itu nanti, insya Allah kalau Aslam lebih aware ya, siaganya nanti kalau misalnya kuliah ngambil tes TOEFL atau IELTS atau apapun, insya Allah sudah lebih bagus. Oke,
Amin. Oke Miss.
you did great job ya.
Alhamdulillah Miss
Ya
ya.
14 tahun, kelas berapa sekarang?
Lagi mau naik ke kelas 9 Miss.
Mau naik ke kelas 9 ya.
Iya.
Alhamdulillah ini semuanya rezeki buat Mas Aslam, dan semoga dikasih Allah ilmu yang berkah, ditambah lagi ilmunya, semoga juga bermanfaat dunia akhirat. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. By the way, you can close the class and lead the class to pray together.
Yes, Miss. Alhamdulillah Alamin. We have finished our class today. Let's close it by saying Alhamdulillah and pray kafaratul majlis. Alhamdulillah Alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.
Thank you. I'll see you again next week, inshallah. Have a nice rest of the day and have a great weekend. Bye
Itu
bye.
Miss. Thank you Miss.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.